I want to start this presentation by asking a question. How do we define success? How do you define success? For me, success is when a person sets a goal for himself and successfully accomplishes it. Now, I believe there are two types of people in this world. The ones who dream of success and the ones who wake up each morning and make it happen. I want you to raise your hand if you've ever been rejected. Well, I have. Back in the day, during my freshman year of high school, we had a dance at the end of the year, and they needed to find a date. There was this girl, prettiest girl in the school. The only thing was, she was a senior and I was a freshman. A freshman nobody with the desire to prove to myself that I was someone important and not just some normal kid in my freshman class. So I tell myself, what better way to do this than by taking her as my date? So I'm talking to one of my friends and I tell him, yo, I want to invite this girl out. His response, he was completely against it. He thought that there was no way a nobody like me could go out with the hottest girl in school. He also said that even if I try, there was no way she would say yes, so why bother? But I tell him, if I don't try, then that no in my head would be something imaginary, something that's not real. But if I do try, then I actually know the actual response and stop the thought of, what if I had tried and if it had worked? The next thing you know, I'm walking into school and I see her in front of me. Now, I was pretty nervous. So my heart starts beating faster, boom, boom, faster and faster. It literally feels like it's gonna pop out of my chest. So I try and avoid her. But as I'm walking past her, I look back, and for a brief moment, we make eye contact. So I take a deep breath, grab some courage, turn around, and go up to her. As I'm close enough, I look her in the eyes and ask her if she wanted to go to dance with me. Her response, she said no. I was completely rejected. The thing is, even though she said no, I felt much more relieved because I knew that that imaginary no was not there anymore. I was also proud of myself for having the courage to go and do this, even though all my friends told me that it was not going to happen. The moral of the story is, if you want to do something, and the people around you tell you that it's not going to happen, or it's impossible, so why try? Try it and see what the outcome is. Because that imaginary no is something that is in your head, and it's not actually real. Would you rather know that you try and end up with a concrete answer that's factual, or would you rather have that thought in your head remind you of what if I had tried and it had worked? I believe society has given us a check that while it provides us with comfort and living necessities, it does not include happiness. We were born in a world where negative thinking surrounds our everyday life 24/7. Judgment through judgment. We're being told what to do, what to wear, and even how to dictate our own emotions. It is time for this to stop. For us to be able to enjoy the game that I and many others call life. A game that is filled with rush and excitement. A game which you, its programmer, have the ability to do anything you want in it. The first step is to realize that you're not getting out of life alive, that you will die. It's true. In the world we live in, negative thinking has become something normal, like going to the bathroom. We whine to our friends about our clothes. We whine about our room. We whine about our family, about the food, anything really. And it is a problem that is keeping people away from living their lives to their full potential. and it's preventing them from living each day to the best of its capabilities. Write this down. Put it on your phone, on your books, in your room, in your car. And every time you feel like complaining, remember this. Use this to motivate yourself to do your best in whatever it is that you're doing. Whether it is sports, school, or social interactions, hold standards for yourself. You do not know what day might be your last. Once you start taking action, remember this. It is easy to be negative. It is easy to whine. It is easy to avoid responsibility. What's not easy is to have the courage to take action and start doing the things you actually want to. Now tell me, have you ever heard that voice in your head? The voice that reminds you of why you're not good enough. The voice that tells you of all the things that can go wrong. The voice that reminds you of why you're not capable of achieving your goal. I want you to tell it to shut up. Shut it up, because every time you let that voice govern your actions, you're telling yourself that that is okay. That it is okay not to take action because you fear the outcome of the situation, and that is not okay. Trust yourself. Believe that you can do it. Expect nothing. Accept everything. Accept things as they are without judging them. Realize that problems are learning experiences. Because we are in a process of transition. We all are. Allow yourself to grow from every interaction. This will lead you on a path to become whoever you want to be. Now, if you're ever gotten rejected, then there's a chance that, like me, you've wondered why, right? Was I not good enough? Was I not good enough to make it to this school? Was I not good enough to make it to the varsity team? Was I not good enough for her? Was I not good enough? Going back to my freshman story, I want to let you guys know that even though she rejected me, it was one of the best things that has ever happened to me. You see, I'll tell you how this rejection gave me the motivation to create Doddoli, my own sneaker company. You see, after I got rejected, I went to my car and wondered why. Why didn't she say yes? Was I not good enough? Was I not worth it? I wanted to prove to myself that I was worth it, that I was someone important and not just some normal kid in my freshman class. So, I'm talking to my friends and I'm thinking, what can I do to prove this? As I'm thinking, I think, there's not a shoe in the market that's comfortable, that's affordable, and that's cool. There's not a shoe in the market that's owned by a high school teenager. So I told myself, let's make one. As I'm talking to my friends, I tell them that I'm gonna make a shoe company. Their response, they told me the exact same thing as when I wanted to invite this girl out. That it was impossible. That it was impossible because I was too young. That it was impossible because I was still in high school. That it was impossible because I had no money. Now, they were different kids, so it was actually pretty depressing to see how no one wanted to take a chance and do the things that they wanted to. Nevertheless, I was going to do the exact same thing as before. I was going to try. The next thing you know, after 6 months of intense hard work, a box comes to my house. As I'm opening it, I see these 2 pairs of shoes. I hold them with my hands. I squeeze them. And I smell the fresh smell of leather comes from it. Now, I almost start crying because these were the 2 shoes that I drew 6 months ago in a piece of paper over the summer. And I almost start crying because for the first time in my life, I had taken a chance and it finally worked. And I almost start crying because I had taken a chance and I had achieved my goal. Thank you.